Hello and welcome to the new series, new video, and new course Web Applications Development using JavaScript. Add interactivity to your HTML pages. My name is Zubia Mughal and I'm an e-learning specialist and I teach information technology related courses in college here in a local university in Abu Dhabi, UAE. And it's my pleasure to be able to share some of my knowledge with you. So, if you have taken the HTML and the CSS course with me before, this course comes right after that. It's an extension of the HTML and the CSS language, and it enables you to do a lot, to add a lot of interactivity to your pages. If you heard of the word user experience or user interactivity experience or UX, you will know that user experience using a website is of utmost or primary importance to get the maximum positive responses from any kind of user on your website. So user experience, getting it right, is the key to success of any website. So in this course, by the end of this course, you should be able to create interactions on your web page, create a bit of animation, have an idea about Web 3G and other technologies, and most importantly, you should have an idea about server side and client side technologies. Okay, the this course is all hands on, but not before the introduction. I have to talk about quite a few things before I can get on to the hands on part. So please hang in there with me. This and the next video is all about the introduction to web applications and using JavaScript and what kind of server side technologies we would be using and how would we be learning how to implement them in your website using different technologies in this course. So let's begin this course. The learning objectives are describe the concepts and technologies underlying web applications, including emerging trends and technologies, the concepts of dynamic data and functioning. So you should be able to describe these concepts towards the end of the course. Create rich web-based user interfaces. This would be the hands-on part, and it's quite exciting. Let me tell you, quite exciting to be able to add even a little bit of interactivity or have to be able to have even a little bit of control on the page is, it's very empowering. So let's look forward to that part. Compose functional programs using HTML5 and JavaScript programming language, including JavaScript libraries. So you're going to be working with those. I will introduce first and then I will get into hands-on part. But remember, this course is 95% hands-on, which means you'll have your notepad editor. I will be working on some HTML code and it will be embellished with JavaScript. Okay, just hold on tight. Okay, we'll come to that part soon. Create web pages that read and write dynamic data using current server-side technologies with an emphasis on data validation, authentication, and personalization. So we're going to cover these 4 learning objectives throughout this course. You're very welcome to post a message underneath this video. I will be happy to answer. Okay, if you would like to know what kind of topics I will cover for this course, they are as follows: Introduction to Server-Side Technologies, AJAX tools, Toolkit, jQuery libraries, WebGL 3D, Introduction to Web Animation, Internet of Things, Responsive Design, Introduction to JavaScript, write simple programs like input-output statements, arithmetic operators, selection statements, and relational operators. JavaScript control statements like selections, assignment operators, increment, decrement operators, looping. We'll cover all of that. JS functions, that is JavaScript functions, JavaScript libraries, web animation, server-side scripting, database connectivity, user authentication, personalization, and then registration, login, logout, and user profiles. Okay, before you even try to think of what is JavaScript, let me tell you one thing. We're going to hit that again. JavaScript is very different from Java. Java is a programming language that needs a compiler. JavaScript does not need a compiler. It is supported by many different kinds of browsers, a diverse collection of browsers, whether it is mobile or whether it is a desktop browser. No compiler needed. JavaScript can be read by your website browser very easily, regardless of your machine that you're using. Java is all compiler read program, and the other difference between the two, the similarity between the two is that both work on object oriented programming concepts. So please try to brush up on your object oriented programming. All right. So Java and JavaScript are nowhere related, okay? And their creators and founders are completely different. JavaScript is the programming language of HTML and the web. Programming makes computers do what you want them to do. The JavaScript programming language developed by Netscape is not part of the Java platform. JavaScript does not create applets or standalone applications. In its most common form, JavaScript resides inside HTML documents and can provide levels of interactivity to web pages that are not achievable with simple HTML. Again, CSS was all about appearance of the HTML page. JavaScript is all about interaction, the level of interaction available on your HTML page. Key differences between Java and JavaScript is Java is an object-oriented programming language, while JavaScript is an object-oriented scripting language. Okay, which means that it is written using HTML format, and it is actually a similar point. Both use object-oriented programming, framework. Then you have Java creates that run in a virtual machine. Java creates applications that are run in a virtual machine or browser, while JavaScript code is run on a browser only. Java code needs to be compiled, while JavaScript code are all in text. They require different plugins. Okay, so this is the most common way of representing JavaScript. Okay, these two logos are common. Why study JavaScript? JavaScript is one of the three languages all web developers must learn. HTML, you must learn HTML to define the content of web pages. CSS to specify the layout of web pages. JavaScript to program the behavior of web pages. So this tutorial is about JavaScript and how JavaScript works with HTML and CSS. So this entire course is all about JavaScript and how JavaScript works with HTML and CSS. All right, let's work towards server-side technologies. Okay, there are several server-side technologies, and we're going to touch one of the common ones. But JavaScript is also a server-side technology. This programming language, the JavaScript, we're going to study in detail in this course. I'm not going to study AJAX Toolkit in detail or jQuery in detail, but I will focus on JavaScript. Okay, but in order to help you understand what kind of server-side technologies are available, I'm just going to touch a few. So server-side technologies are technologies that exist at the server side. For example, AJAX Toolkit, jQuery libraries, WebGL3D, and server-side technology is where the real work occurs. Now, if you want to look at AJAX Toolkit, it is the ASP.NET AJAX Control Toolkit is an open source project. What do you mean by an open source project? Open source project means that it is supported by lots of programmers. Okay, there's a support community network going on, and they, propose some kind of problems and exceptions that people write code for, and then it's adapted and taken up by other programmers. So is an open source project built on top of the Microsoft ASP.NET AJAX framework. It is a joint effort between Microsoft and the ASP.NET AJAX community that provides a powerful infrastructure to write reusable, customizable, and extensible ASP.NET AJAX extenders and controls, as well as a rich array of controls that can be used out of the box to create an interactive web page. Okay, so this toolkit contains more than 30 controls that enable you to easily create rich interactive web pages. I am going to introduce quite a few of AJAX toolkit controls, and just to get you started. Okay, but my main focus is JavaScript. All right. Server side technologies. Okay, let me explain one more thing before I go forward. Server side scripting. Okay, what is side scripting? It is a technique used in web development which involves employing scripts, okay, on a web server which produce a response customized for users' request to the website. Okay, the alternative is for the web server itself to deliver a static web page. So instead of a static web page that is like, stagnant water, doesn't do anything, you create a dynamic page with the aid of scripting languages. Scripts can be written in any of a number of server scripting languages that are available. Okay, AJAX Toolkit, jQuery, JavaScript is one of them. Server-side scripting is distinguished from client-side scripting. So when I say scripting or programming, it's almost same thing. It's an interchangeable word. I'm not going to focus on scripting programming differences. So server-side and client-side programming. Okay. So you have where embedded scripts such as JavaScripts are run client-side in a web browser. Both techniques are often used together. Server-side scripting is often used to provide customized interface for the user. Okay, these scripts may assemble client characteristics for use in customizing the response based on those characteristics, the user's requirements, access rights. All of these are brought into play. Server-side scripting also enables the website owner to hide the source code, okay, that generates the web page. Whereas with client-side scripting, the user has access to all the code received by the client. A downside to the use of server-side scripting is that the client needs to make further requests over the network to the server in order to show new information to the user via the web browser. These requests can slow down the experience for the user, place more load on the server, and prevent use of application when the user is disconnected from the server. Okay, so these are the pros and cons of client-side and server-side technologies. We're going to cover more in detail shortly. Just hang in there. So server-side technologies, the example that we're touching is AJAX, ASP.NET. This is the logo. AJAX is a developer's dream because he can update a web page without reloading the page. Okay, request data from a server after the page has loaded, receive data from a server after the page has loaded, send data to a server in the background. So it's a multi-processing, seamless integration between the needs of the user and the capabilities of a server. AJAX is an asynchronous JavaScript. It is made of JavaScript and XML. In order to learn AJAX, you need to learn HTML and JavaScript. So needless to say, if you've done HTML and CSS before, JavaScript is your next step, and after JavaScript you can do AJAX. Okay, so just take a mental note of that. Okay, let me end this video, and I'm going to continue with a little bit more introduction, and then finally when the introductions are over, I would like to get hands-on with you with JavaScript. Okay, so that is coming soon, but let's finish with our introduction to different topics. Take care. Bye bye.